Hello, everybody. Welcome to our artist talk for the week. I forgot. This is becoming a habit of me forgetting the numbers of the artist talk because I've done so many videos for Metakey. But for this week, I have a really exciting guest. I've actually been wanting to talk to this guest for the longest time on the artist talk series and bring it to the Meta crew, and so it finally happened. And with me today, I have Daniel Pan. If you don't know who that is, well, I'll give you the floor to introduce yourself, and then I'll say how we came in contact. Actually,
Sure. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, thank you for the introduction and having me on. Yeah, so I'm Daniel, or just I go by Daniel Pan, and I'm a artist, collector, and the co-founder of the Art Gallery Auction House, which is a Telegram group that I founded. And let's see, yeah, that's probably where you're most commonly familiar with me. Is if it's not on Telegram, then it's probably Daniel Pan on Twitter.
and what is it? Your Skies project as well.
Right. Yeah. And then yeah, the Skies Project, which yeah, we're at I think 550 hodlers now. So
Nice.
yeah, we're growing, man. We're growing.
Yeah, I'm excited. I waited. I had to like save up some ETH and just like watch the secondary market like a hawk, um, just to grab the one that I wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, I,
And I
I
was
appreciate that too. I remember you were saying you heard like whether it's okay to to scoop the secondary
yeah.
versus just minting, and it's like it all helps out. So I really appreciate either way. If you can't do the point oh 0.05, like there's crazy deals on OpenSea. Like people are fucking noodle handing like
It's
all
true.
of the mints. I think the floor is point oh 0.01, so like 5 times below mint price.
It's true, and it just like I mean, it's like I really don't understand the mentality behind like the idea of paper handing, like
Yeah.
such thing. Like it's like why, or like so much money gets lost, and it's like you see it everywhere too with every project. Somebody goes in and then they just paper hand, and you're like, if you just have the patience, you know. But
Yeah.
like
I think
um
the patience is the critical part. I think it's more like um it has to be like sort of a bot type thing, right? Like
mm,
I think it's a matter of just buying up whatever launches, hoping that it is able to flip within the first, um, maybe like the first couple days,
mm,
and then immediately selling it off for just to recoup that liquidity and trying again. I think it's if you're familiar with like the Uniswap craze, right, of the summer, that's basically what it was. Is people just buying into literally every coin that released on Uniswap, and a lot of them were very shitty. Like they had zero long term plan, but every once in a while you can get in on a token that just mooned for no reason at all, and that one big gain would offset the thousands of losses.
it's true. We the biggest example of that is Shib, you know,
Yeah,
Shib,
exactly.
Shib.
Shib. What was it, like $100 in Shib not too long ago,
Dude,
and now you're like fucking millions.
you won't. So I did the math, right? I got it. I don't know what the fuck. Like one day in February 17th, my brain was going down CoinGecko, and I saw Shib, and I was like, why not? Right? So I put in $17, and that shit now, if I had held all of it, which I don't, right, would have been 25K right now,
Oh
or
yeah,
when it mooned. And then it's like me watching, like, and I've made a good amount off of Shib.
yeah,
Like I've managed to like buy some stuff that I would have never bought if I hadn't sold my Shib at all. But it's like it's to me it's like it never made sense, right? And it goes against everything in that they tell you to do in crypto.
yep. It defies all logic.
Like oh my god, and then now it haunts me. Now just Shib just fucking haunts me, and it haunts everybody else too that I know because everybody's like yeah I sell that shit, and now all of us are like what the fuck.
Yeah, what happened, dude?
Uh,
Yeah, dude, I had the same issue with sand. I don't know if you saw my tweet, but I was trying to get in on the parallel drop, and I don't know if you tried for parallel.
I still don't know what that is, and like all these mint, like the mint prices have always been sort of high for me, and it's just
Yeah,
because my art sales themselves haven't been like of high amounts, right?
yeah, yeah,
And so but it's like, what is parallel, anyways? Like I still don't know what fully that is.
yeah. So parallel is basically a sci-fi NFT card game, and it's gotten like insane amounts of support and hype. I mean, from the first pack drop, it sold out in a very very short amount of time, and this recent pack drop on the 31st of October was just, oh man, it was absolutely fucking nuts, man. It sold out. I think the supply was at least a couple times higher than the first pack drop, and it sold in 10 seconds. At
Jesus.
least I think that's what I saw. It was fast. I'm not sure if it was exactly 10 seconds, but it was fucking fast. And like I couldn't get a pack. Um, and what was it? A lot of my friends struck out too. It was very, very much, just chance. You just had to be super fast or just super lucky. Um, but my point that I was circling to was, uh, is I had sort of that doom and gloom moment with the ship, because I sold sand, because sand was fucking stagnant forever, right, at like 70 cents.
Mm.
So I was like, oh, it's not going anywhere. It's been in the 70 cent range, like 70-80 cent range for like ever. So I sold 2,000 sand at 75 cents so I could invest in parallel. I got 0 packs, and now sand is $3.
Ah. Oh.
Yeah, it was fucking brutal, man. So
Oh.
down bad.
It's yeah. I man. Goddamn. Fuck.
Feels bad, man. Feels bad.
That's like Top Shot vibes right there.
Yeah, it was brutal. I definitely had to take a bit of a Twitter break, because my entire feed was just, fuck yeah, I struck it 333. They got all like the full max allocation of packs, and I'm just here like fucking zero, man.
So that's why I was seeing 333 pop up.
Yeah,
Oh,
333. Yeah, that's sort of like the
Jesus.
little lingo. Yeah, if you got 333, then you just have max luck points. It's just insanity. There was way, way more people that got 000, and I was sadly part of that crowd.
What is it? Are you in ENS? You probably have an ENS domain, no?
Oh, oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're
I'm super excited for the drop. Yeah,
Me too. It's like I hope it's like a good amount that just allows artists to like do stuff, right? Because I know
yeah,
it's like it's gonna go on for a while, supposedly. Like they're not releasing all of it at once, right?
right.
But yeah, hopefully that helps us who for us with our ship tokens and our a little fuck
Yeah,
ups. Goddamn.
yeah, yeah. Honestly, we need like another like a Rari stimulus. Do you remember that shit when that happened?
I do. I
When
remember.
everyone got Rari, and all of a sudden it's like, holy shit, we have like thousands of dollars now, and everyone's buying art. That was the golden age of
Or
art.
or
It was the
paint.
gold. Or paint. Yeah, paint was good too.
Yeah, paint to me was like I was like, what the hell is this? And
Yeah,
then I didn't sell until it was too late.
dude, I still have mine. I think I still have like 200K
Yeah,
paint, and it's like what, like $100 now?
I hold the same amount. I did exactly the same move, and then it's like funny enough. I'm holding on to paint like so conservatively, and I'm selling my shit, but I should have done the otherwise. You know?
Right, another way around. Well, paint is a good idea. Shib is, I mean, just mostly memes.
Yeah, straight up.
But I think there's some merit to it. I used to talk to uh, Shaitoshi, um, and he's like I think he's involved with the project in some capacity, like
Mhm.
a community or community manager or project lead or something like that. And he did say that there was a couple different token dynamics that they had between uh, Shib and Bone and Leash and other things and how they tie into each other, and then also like artist incubators and stuff like that. But I haven't heard too much about it. It seems like at this point the focus on it being a innovative coin isn't really the focus anymore. It's just being a fucking meme coin, and being really good at it.
Yeah, pretty much. And then I think I remember one point they were like, "Yeah, SHIB's gonna become a stable coin," and that's when I clocked out personally. I was like, "Yeah, okay,
Whoa, who said
sure."
that?
That's like they were posting it, and like some dude started a YouTube channel, and they're like, "Yeah, the plan now is for SHIB to become a stable coin," and their whole thing. And we're getting off topic a little bit, but their whole thing was we're gonna set up an account that buys SHIB and off the market. And I'm in my head I'm like, sounds like a dump, sounds like a fucking dump coming, sounds like a
Yeah.
dump. um, but anyways, to those listening, again, welcome to the artist talk. We went off topic immediately.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um,
Oops.
but if anybody's curious, right? I got to meet Dan or Deno. Can I just say Dan? Because that's how I
Yeah, Dan. Go ahead.
usually
Yeah.
um through we got fully in contact. I think it was actually through your Aga or AGAH
Hmm.
Nigeria auction house. And for those that
Yep.
don't know, around November, I believe,
Yeah, I think it was November.
with the whole NSARS thing that was happening and the brutality in Nigeria, um, then and I forget who's the partner. That was it Thanos or um, I forget who it was. But you guys essentially ran a whole auction to raise funds for what's happening there, and so I
Yeah.
participated in that alongside a bunch of prominent figures in the space now, like Vane, Sirisu, and then
Yeah.
uh, so many people. Actually, it was
There was a
insane.
ton, dude. There was a lot. Yeah, like let's see. There was Harv.
Mhm.
Um let's see. Etienne Kraus. Let's see. I think we had was Yosnir in there?
I
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Yosnir was in there. Um, let's
I'm gonna
see.
pull it up right
Ria.
now.
Oh yeah. Wait, do you have the?
I have it posted on my Instagram. Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Oh, that's amazing, dude. It was crazy. Yeah, there was a lot.
I'm never gonna forget that. It was like when I did the ETH translation, right? It was like 3.1 ETH, um, right? Which is like not a big well, it's still a big amount now, but
Yeah.
the currency conversions was still like over 3 million Nigerian lira or something like that, and it was just wild. Um,
Yeah.
we had so many people actually. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Surreal
It was a ton.
Serpentine.
Hmm.
We got Mod. Who else? Jonathan. Hey, I think. Hey, Bruce is in there. I remember Bruce the Goose, and then Bishop,
Yeah.
Mahak. Yo, X Copy got in there too. Wow, what?
No,
No
it was
way.
so X copy was let's see. I think that was a donated work.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, Jonas here was there, and then Carlos was there. If that's Carlos Marcial, then yo, that's big
Yeah.
names. Big names. Holy shit. Samj is there. Yo, so many people. That's insane. And I remember being at work and getting a message on my break from Sirso saying, "Yo, your work sold," and I was like, "What the fuck?" And then coming back in the chat and then just realizing so many artists were just coming in and just trying to support this. And I was actually curious, like, how was it like on the other side, running the whole thing
Oh,
just through Telegram?
dude,
Because
it was absolute hell. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It was fucking hell. Like, okay, so like I'm running these auctions while working a full-time job. And
Jesus,
yeah, it was brutal, man. Like I had me it was me, Talos, I think that's who you're talking about, right? Earlier.
yeah, Talos.
Uh
Did I say Thanos?
Yeah, you said, yeah, you said Thanos. I was like, who are you talking about, man?
That's why you were
I'm not a partner
silent.
with no
I was
Marvel
like,
heroes.
I was wondering, like, why are you silent? Did I say the wrong name? Yes, I did. Talos,
I
not
was trying
Thanos.
to think. I was like Thanos. Do I know Thanos? No, yeah, Talos. And I think we had Sam, an old buddy of mine,
Mm,
you know, come in as like a guest auctioneer because we honestly just needed breaks. It was us three running all of these auctions, and yeah, honestly, it was a lot of work. But we definitely don't regret a thing. It was one of, I think, the greatest auction charity events ever. Like, just seeing everyone, come together and uh, donate art or just be there to bid and just be there to support was really really cool. And it's how I got to know um, a lot of people. It's where I met you. It's where I really got to meet folks like Yosnir and Bria.
mm,
You know, just so many people. It was really I think like the genesis of a new age of AGA. And after that we started to do more charity auctions. Sort of to kind of keep that momentum up. Lately we have been taking a break because they are very, very demanding. Like, I used to have to run, a lot of it with Talos, and there was a little bit of like life complications, stuff like that. So he had to step down and kind of take it easy a bit, stuff like that. And honestly, Talos and I are the only people I think insane enough to run auctions of this of this scale. I can't seem to find anyone who can run it like we do. Um,
well,
like it's hard. It's hard work. I have great co-auctioneers,
mhm.
but I would not put them through the charity auctions.
Yeah, well, it's because like to those listening, these charity auctions are usually pretty quick, right? And also I gotta say a correction. You guys raised 17 ETH, not 3.5 ETH.
Yep,
3.5
17
ETH. That 3.5 was on, like, I think on the second day beginning or like midday, and then
Yep.
by the end we had hit 17 ETH. So there's that. But it's when those auctions, the way they happen is they're quick, and chat is moving really quickly, right? And you gotta tell people, hey, no shilling until your turn, or wrong shilling, okay? And it's I treat it as sort of like the people who go through an AGA auction, and it's specifically like um a charity auction. It's a rite of passage for those who like fully enter the NFT game, because you have to fully see it to understand what it's like, and it's wild.
Right.
it's
Yeah.
It's actually it's one of my favorite things. It's like it's so crazy. It's like sometimes I try to go into in the Telegram group, but it's just at the rate of everything moving at the speed at how everything is moving is just so hard to keep up with so many chats. And it's like
Right.
I I was actually wanted to ask, how is it? Because I remember people were asking you, right, um about why you don't do it through Discord, and you were saying
Oh,
Discord is like the most fucked thing for you, and I was like, how is it running like this whole thing just through like Telegram? Because like
yeah.
it's still wild to me that this whole thing is literally run through Telegram.
Right, right. So like I have been using Discord a lot more.
Mm,
And I do like appreciate Discord's organizational structure.
mm,
But the thing that I've always been comfortable around Telegram. That's really where I got started with crypto and NFTs.
okay.
Um, so I got into Telegram basically the same time I got into NFTs in 2019 of January. And I was in Telegram like every day trying to learn and trying to get to know people, and just experiment, right, with what was out there in NFTs. And so I built like a very very strong connection with the people who are on Telegram.
Mm,
I mean, granted, there's so many different groups, so you don't always run into the same people, but you do run into familiar faces, and it was fairly easy for me at that point to say, this is where I want to set like a home base.
Okay.
Um, so fast forward to April 2020, that's when I founded Aga, in Telegram, right? Because that's just everything I knew at that point. And then I started to experiment with Discord. I've gotten some people who said that maybe we should move over.
Mhm.
And to be honest, I feel like it wouldn't be the same. One of the things that I noticed um, with Discord is that I feel like a lot of groups get wrong is uh, there's just too many sub channels where
Yeah.
what you end up doing is having a whole bunch of like subcultures within your like subgroups within your umbrella group, right?
Yeah.
And then when you go to Aga, it's just one channel. Everything exists in one place, which is chaos, but in kind of an interesting way. Uh, it just flows well enough because everyone is there. The action is happening right, in one single moment, and everyone is congregated there. And I just really like the idea of everyone being there in the moment, right? As opposed to Discord, where you have to jump between 30 fucking sub channels, and then you get tagged in another one. You have to jump over there, and then it's like it's very fucking menial. I don't really enjoy that about Discord.
It's
But yeah,
you're 100% right. It's like the thing I've noticed is I'm active in only in about really two discords, right? The Metakey Discord, because I'm a big fan of the project and I do stuff there and I mod it, right? And
right.
then Moon Overlord's Discord. He's like a crypto trader that's into NFTs and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And he has to continuously every month or every 2 months go through his channels and delete the ones that become inactive.
Yep.
And the only reason he has like these subcultures that have grown into his channels is because his Discord is now over 10,000 people. So
Right.
it gets enough traffic for each chat that's being kept alive to actually remain alive, right?
Yep.
But when you're dealing with like small discords and you're still starting it out, like having so many channels, it's like shit dies pretty quickly. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's so many discords too. It's like the notification thing is like,
Oh
I,
God. It took me forever, way too long to figure out how to turn that shit off. Every single time I would launch a Discord, it's just
oh
badoop, badoop, badoop. I'm like, what the fuck, man? I just turned these off, and they'll
yeah,
come back. And I think I was only muting particular servers, not
oh
like overall. I don't know why it took me this long to figure that out, but it was like a curse, man. Every single time I would pull it open, it was just 30,000 notification rings. And it's like, oh my
yeah.
God, man, I'm out of here.
It's true. It's I think like there's a video online of somebody like just showing their Discord notification sounds and it's just infinite, just doo 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 doo. You're like,
Yeah.
holy.
Oh my God. It's so
It's
bad.
it is. It's like, especially like on like big project discords, like
Yep.
oh, and like launches. Yo, I we had a little, what is it, when we released Metakey Edition 4, right? So many people got excited, and we also had like 10K bots or something like that flood the Discord
Oh God.
server. And when the stuff launched, chat, I it was like, because I've been on the opposite side screaming at mods on Top Shot chat, right?
Yeah.
Now it was my turn to be on the other side, managing a flood of and oh my god, it was like it hit the point where it was like we had to put on slow mode for an hour.
Oh my God.
And it wasn't because like we couldn't handle the heat or the messages. It was because like, say like there is somebody who has a valid concern, we didn't even notice their message because of the flood of messages.
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh my god, it's insane. So like Discord can get very hectic. It's actually wild.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm in your what is it? To those listening, go to the Skies Discord. It's pretty cool over there. I big lurk. Um, it's like, and it's dude. I'm like, the amount of discords I have. Like I have them separated into two folders. I have them separated into crypto friends, right? So these
Mhm.
are like the people that I've met through me being a year here into NFTs and crypto, and then I have a thing called just crypto, and it's just all the projects. and that's just notification hell. Like, oh my god. It's like, oh, um, I I I want to talk a little bit about your before I touch onto skies. Um,
Okay,
I wanted to talk a little bit on about your art because I
sure.
remember when you had first started releasing your art, it was just sort of simple,
Hmm.
um, like clouds and ethereal colors. And to those listening, look at the screen. This is I don't think this is Daniel's work in his final form, not even close. But this is Daniel like evolved until I don't know what god power he has consumed, because like look, because I literally remember, like I remember your first time, like, well, not your first time because you've been around since 2019, but I remember
Yeah.
seeing your cloud drawings when you first started, right?
Hmm.
And then looking at them now, it's like the most fascinating thing. Because to me, I was
Right.
like, clouds are cool, but how can you change the depiction of clouds into something that's different every time, right?
Yeah.
And then long and behold, you're doing that, right? And I'm just like looking at some of the stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, like, sir, what the hell? And to
Yeah, I
those
appreciate that.
to those listening, though these are done on iPad Pro, right? Or
Yeah, iPad Pro. Hmm.
and that to me is just even more fascinating. I'm like, an iPad Pro, goddamn. So, like, how do
I
you
mean,
actually start with the whole
uh,
skies thing?
yeah. So, actually, when I first started, it was florals. I was the floral art guy, and
Mm,
um, I was making all my art on a laptop, right, with a sketchbook. And at that time, I was sort of using like photography, kind of like multimedia type thing, right? So I was
mm,
doing photography, a little bit of like uh, like post production, glitching, stuff like that. More so because this was around trash art era, right, where
mm,
that was really what was happening. So all the art, I think, in that period of time was some sort of glitchy element, and really I was just trying to figure out sort of what direction I wanted to take my art. And naturally it kind of just moved on to things that I was fixated with. So I mean, florals was something that I think captivated my attention for a long time.
mm,
And um, you know with my art, the main themes have always been um, centered around beauty and harmony, and kind of more introspective things, right? Like the self and the journey, and discovery, exploration, that type of thing. So, going towards these types of themes, it kind of led me to open up right beyond um, the realm of just flowers, right? It
mm.
goes on to things like, landscapes and skyscapes and stuff like that. So, more of like a literal, broadening of what I can do. So, at that point I started to experiment more with just painting clouds and stuff like that. But then how do I make that interesting, right? How do I make it unique? And I think really it ties back into sort of like um, my personal fixation, emphasis on color. I think color is what makes it pop, right? It's what separates, I think, um, like the sunsets and sunrises from one day to another. Like for some reason, uh, they always seem to captivate us, right?
Mm.
Different hours of the day have, just different plays and variations in light, in color, and that type of thing. So, I kind of use that as inspiration. Just by playing around with the different color formations, structure, that type of thing, right? You can make a completely different um, artwork. And really, I tie that with sort of like a theme that I have in mind. So a lot of the time, it's emotion, or like those introspective things I talked about. I tie that into what I do with the clouds. So yeah, it all just kind of blends into something that, in the end, I just want to be beautiful and important.
I mean, man, it's great. Uh,
Thank you.
I don't know what's the title of the middle piece. Oh, Sundance. Never mind.
Sundance.
It's right there. It's in the picture. And I told you I'm blind. um Man, it's like, I was looking at that, and I think that was like when I fully realized like how far you've actually come with just clouds, right?
Yeah.
Because I was looking at it and I was like, hold on a minute, I gotta pause, right? It's like, yo, it's like purple and pink, right? You have like blue hues, right? And then blue clouds, which sort of, you really don't see blue clouds, but then you got red clouds in the background, and then the portal like structure with even orange clouds, and then what feels like as if it's like fire, but it's
Yeah.
like it hits you with like the actual sunset feeling, right? It's like as if you're like that close to a sunset, right?
Right.
But but also the sun dance, right? You can feel like as if it's well, I don't want to say solar storms because like that's just getting too much into physics, right? But it's like as if like you're actually seeing the sun move, the sun rays and all that. And so it's like I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, damn, um, shit.
For sure, for sure. I mean, I think solar storm is very, very accurate, right? That's sort of like the concept that I had in my head is the um sort of like the a play on opposites, yeah. Like you're having the harsh red and the blue, high contrast, right? And then it's sort of like how that plays in with each other. There's also like an element of, I think, power and beauty, like two, I think, extreme opposites, but they lend well to each other. And that was sort of like the idea of that composition, is just kind of like, two opposites
Mm,
that really bring out the best in each other. And I mean, a lot of it is sort of uh, like a metaphor. Not all of it is very literal. I like to leave my work open ended, um, so that it kind of alludes to something, but doesn't always say. Um, and let's see, I even have the the poetry for it,
oh,
because yeah, because all of my artwork comes with poetry or some sort of creative writing.
hey, oh. I've just been looking at most of these through like Twitter and stuff, and then it's like OpenSea. I honestly like OpenSea needs to do something about its description
Oh,
display. Sorry.
yeah. So actually, I didn't really
You're cutting out there.
description yet on Sundance. That's why. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
I said that I didn't release the poetry yet. That's probably why you didn't see that.
okay. I didn't know you wrote poetry. Damn.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not a professional or anything. Hell, I mean, I didn't even think I was an artist until, I mean, just recently. Like I've been making art for a year and a half, like self-taught, and for the longest time, right, all of my life, I didn't think I could make anything artistic at all. Um, yeah, it just it took sort of like a leap of faith. That's really what it was, and for a lot of my life, I was scared to make art and have it be critiqued and looked at and you know just observed, right? Because I didn't think that I knew how to do it right. And that's at a certain point, after talking to so many people that I look up to. I was talking to Rob Ness, I was talking to Jay DeLay, Peter Bach, and then my friend Reland, right? And there was just everyone was just making art because they loved to do it, and not necessarily because they were so great at it, but it reflected well, right? It translated well because you can tell the energy and passion they had, and that made the art really fucking good. Um, and so that really inspired me to do the same thing, where it was saying, I'm not great at art. I'm trying art, and I want to, make something great, um, and really just channeling that into each and every piece. So, really what you were saying before, in that, these recent pieces kind of feel like an evolution. It very much is that. This all these pieces that you're seeing is they're part of a 30-piece collection I'm releasing on OpenSea, and I'm dubbing it the Awakening Collection, and it's really just a combination of you know everything I've learned, uh, everything I sort of just believe in, and like the techniques I've acquired and perfected, and all of that right into one cohesive collection. So it's really me bringing my best into a series of 30.
Well, I was actually gonna say, like, I looking through Sundance and all the other pieces that are gonna go on the Open Sea collection. I was starting to realize that you learned a few tricks from Skies, like as a project itself, because the way you're working with the layers is different from your work
Yeah,
pre Skies.
yeah. Actually, that's a really good observation. Yeah, so um, with making skies, I had to really divide everything into sort of layered assets, right?
Mm.
And figure out how they play with each other. Whereas before, it was really I only had a couple layers, and um, there wasn't a whole lot of depth to it because they didn't really lay on top of each other.
Mm.
Um, but with skies, right, with the idea of different pieces comprising like one generative composition, it kind of helped me, I think, realize that I could do the same thing with all my individual artworks. Is basically taking layering to a different level and creating something that just blends so well. So that's something I've been really focusing a lot of time and attention to, is like sort of the addition of layers, but then also like an insane amount of time with blending, because it makes such a beautiful result.
Man, it's just I'm looking at some of the Skies now because it's like I wish I because you also keep saying that with some of the Sky stuff we haven't seen some of the assets you've drawn, and we might never see some of the assets you've drawn just because of the mint count. And so I'm looking at all these. I'm like, what the hell is in here? What are you hiding? Like,
I think most of them have been uncovered, but there are some insane combinations that just haven't, been minted yet. And we're at 14, I think 1418, so 1,418 total mints. And I'm capping at 4,000 mints.
okay,
So we're a quarter of the way there. And I looked at the previews, and dude, there's some fucking insane skies that are just waiting to be minted. But I pushed it as hard as I could.
Mhm.
I got the support that I could get. So at this point, the sale ends November 11th. So at that point, I can close the public sale. I am opening like a private strategic bulk minting round,
Mhm.
so that I can, speak with partners who are interested in um, growing their own community,
Mhm.
requiring skies, sort of like as an airdrop, or just as a growth incentive tool. Um, so they'll be able to mint skies privately. Um, After that, though, there's no public mint, and again, it will say fixed at 4,000. So I really think eventually people will understand, why skies I think makes sense, and
Oh,
it's you know
absolutely,
and
absolutely.
it works with literally every project. It's very much you know like my like ethos, right, is cooperation and working
Mhm.
with people to do something incredible. And that's really what Skies does, is it works and blends well with any profile pic, any avatar. and it just makes everything pretty.
It does.
It's cool. And you, why not have a rare background for your rare avatar? You know what I mean? Like it's a
Hmm.
double plus. It's a
And,
no brainer. But we'll
and it's
see.
like,
We'll see.
and to your point, like they really do look very nice, regardless of whatever PFP project you have on there.
Right.
Like
Thank
it's
you.
like you saw the video I made and I posted it
Yeah.
in the thing. It's like I replaced it with my own like live video background, and even there I'm just like, this is the gnarliest fucking thing on the planet. It's and it's like I remember, I think I was talking to King Jesus yesterday or the day before, or even in the Discord also, about how I'm only excited, and I only think it's like with the flood of all the PFP projects, right? I'm excited for the longevity and the future of Skies, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, like what they say, like you want to put yourself in the way of where the strain is headed, and you've essentially put yourself in that position, but in like a much smarter position, because it's like
Right.
now yours is no longer dependent on which PFP is popping. It's now able to support all of them regardless of when they pop or not, right? And then
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly that.
and
Hmm.
the other thing I was it was, what is it, Dutch Tide's banner project. But
Yeah.
the thing in there is just both of you guys and are building to like around this cycle instead of, or like around the PFP projects and all that, and like the Twitter identity, instead of adding to the saturation of the market,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, we've seen this all the time, right? It's like when shit dries up or when stuff gets slow, that's the time to build. And it's like you guys have clearly, and specifically you've built, right? I mean, I was legitimately surprised when it was like a manifold custom contract. I was like, how the fuck did you manage to get a manifold custom contract? Please explain that to me. How?
Yeah. So, quick correction. So the I had a manifold contract for a one of one editions
Oh, okay.
release on OpenSea, but I partnered with Moonwalk for my generative project for Skies. Um, and yeah, so Moonwalk uh, is an NFT platform that actually helps creators make these generative projects. So
Oh,
I didn't have to do any of the coding or anything like that. All I did was supply the art and just told them what I liked, and yeah, the team handled it perfectly. So yeah, it was amazing working with them because I don't have any technical skills whatsoever. So I was like, I have this idea, but what do I do with it, right? And luckily, I met Shiv Madan, who's the founder of Moonwalk, right? And he's he mentioned having an interest in you know getting people onto this platform and uh,
mhm.
trying it out. And at the time, he saw I had a zebra from my friend Zupio, right? And he was like, "Oh man, the zebras are fucking sick. Do you want to do a generative project with the zebras?" And I said, "These aren't mine. These are from my friend. I can ask him for you though, see if he wants to do a generative project." And he said um, that he was too busy because he's a teacher, so he had to pass up that opportunity. So I said, "Hey Shiv, we can't do the zebras, but do you want to hear a project I have?" So I pitched him Skies, and he was like, "Okay, all right. I think this sounds good." So we did some mock-ups, did some testing and stuff like that, and yeah, then we launched it, and yeah,
Nice. No, well, still, like, my point to bring up the manifold was it's like it's its own custom contract, right? So it's like
yep,
it's uncensorable. OpenSea can sort of like stop us from viewing it, but it's always gonna be on EtherScan forever,
yep,
right?
it's on the blockchain. Yep.
Which is the nicest thing. And then did you have to pay anything, or did by any chance, or was
Yeah,
this
yeah.
like
So let's see, how much do they take? what was it? It was a very very reasonable
Okay.
fee. I think it was like 10%.
Oh,
Um,
of the sales of skies.
yeah, of the
Oh,
total
okay.
revenue, which honestly was super super fair because they did so much of like the work. All I
Mm.
really had to do was the art and the promoting and stuff like that. So honestly, 10% for that is an absolute deal because I had no upfront costs either.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
awesome actually.
yeah.
And then your manifold I didn't so the manifold one is for a different one of um for
Yeah,
one of
just
one
yeah, just one of one artwork. So I own that contract.
you own as in so well like well I still don't like I fully understand that manifold allows people and sets them up with their custom contracts, but I still don't know how they do it or like how it functions, right? Because my latest thing, I was like, how do I even get in contact with Manifold? Like, I don't even know how to do that.
Yeah, you let's see. So I went through my friend Young Weekend.
Mm,
But uh I think they've hired more help because they've just grown in popularity, right? Like
yeah,
Richard is now like a fucking celebrity.
it's
I
true.
got in a call with him before, and I don't think I could do it again because he's definitely. I think he's like done 10x or so on his follower count
Yeah.
in no
Oh,
time at all. Like he's a superstar. But yeah. So I just messaged Young Weekend. He's an old friend of mine,
mm,
and I've known them for a while since the it was our one of our other charity auctions. It was for the carbon emission
okay.
offset. So I met Young Weekend through there, um, and yeah, so he was kind of like my hookup for Manifold, and yeah, so what they do is they walk you through the entire process of getting the smart contract, like written, launched, or deployed, and all that stuff. So like you get to pick um, the what is that called now? I don't fucking know. It's like
The
a
signature that you would
um,
like the picture
yeah,
to
yeah,
use.
the picture. What is that called? Like a
I,
some sort of weird computer language picture shit. Yeah,
yeah. I,
yeah. You get to pick
they,
that. Um, you get to pick that, and then sort of like the built-in royalties and all that stuff. So like, all of that is on the contract. So I can import that anywhere, right? And like no platform will fuck me over the royalties because it's built into this contract. It's not going to use like Foundation or Rarible or something like that.
yeah, it splits it, the contract. Oh, wow. So
Yeah,
that's how, okay. Damn.
it's cool. Yeah, it's really neat.
Yeah, that's awesome. Holy shit. Yeah, that's super exciting. And to those listening, somebody's here to stay. Well, when first of all they joined in 2019, um, but also and started an auction house for people. But also when then has a custom contract, right? And it's like I'm sort of excited for this whole custom contract because Manifold just opened up their like beta applications for their like creator, um, I guess site or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And
yeah,
so I know that image you're talking about because I had to generate mine and like submit it there, and then hopefully when they open their like custom contract site or whatever, people are able to just go in and create their custom contracts.
yeah,
And I'm legitimately super excited for that because what they're doing is insane in this space, and it allows you as an artist far more flexibility and freedom. Um,
yeah, yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can show that contract on Foundation, no, as a world.
Um, let's see. I don't know if Foundation actually allows you to import contracts.
Well, because I remember Manifold, they're the ones that wrote Yatrada's custom contract for the Foundation auction for their worlds.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Hmm.
and so I think, well, I don't. The Foundation's been fucking weird. Like,
Yeah.
high key Foundation. And to those listening, I will say this gladly because I've been here for a year. Um, that doesn't mean anything really, but I still say it. um, yeah, foundation's pretty fucking weird.
No,
Very.
I agree with you, man. I totally agree with you. Like, bro, I don't understand why I'm paying 15% in fees when I have to do like all the fucking work. Like
Right.
all they let you do is mint on their platform. I mean, their UI looks awesome. I really like their UI UX, but it's like apart from that though, 15%,
Straight
and
up.
you don't even get a feature. Like it's like the same fucking people who get on the feature page,
Straight up.
or if it's not the same people, then it's like some you know
I
I don't know, man. Like it's just you're paying 15%, and you're probably just going to have it sit there. And then not to mention the fact that you have to pay to settle the auction.
wait. What?
Um, yeah, yeah, you have to pay a gas fee to settle the auction after it's over. It doesn't automatically like send the token to the buyer, and then like it's not held in escrow in the way where it auto executes. Like you have to fucking settle it with another transaction, so that's more
Wait,
gas.
actually,
Yeah,
I didn't even know that. So like, so I'm out here to like, well, I'm out here trying to fucking get Foundation to even acknowledge me on Twitter, right? With a like,
yep,
even because like I don't even like they only seem to retweet trending auctions and that's it. And
that's
they'll
it. Yep,
like they'll go on Spaces and be like, we care about the artist, and then you look at them, and be like, you don't know, you just care about the artists that have started their auction, or the artists that will bring you money, right?
yeah,
Like, uh, you want to know? Like, here's a little bit of fucked thing, and to those listening, this will blow your mind, right? Yutrada's work is this Ethiopian artist, right? You
mhm.
can't search it. You can't search Afri. Like, if you search African art, you can't search the tag African art. But they'll gladly retweet and take her 15% out of the 109 ETH that she made, right? But you
What?
can't. You literally can't search African art in on Foundation. You can't search post colonial on Foundation. You can search post internet art or Afrofuturism, because apparently all work from Africa is Afrofuturist, and that's it.
Yeah,
And I'm just like, how in the hell are you like flaunting this artist's like sales? And literally, you can't fucking search the continent which they are from in your Foundation.
yeah. It needs work, man. It's definitely not a perfect platform.
Like,
Yeah,
damn, I didn't know that whole like my thing now is like I'm telling people to buy my stuff on Foundation, and even if it sells, I might not have enough ETH to settle
exactly.
the
Yep,
auction, depending on the wow.
yep.
God damn,
Yeah. it's
what the
it's a, it's
fuck?
a great way to get robbed. It's a fantastic way to get robbed.
I
I mean, the only way is if you're able to consistently, make uh, top dollar sales. But like a lot of the people who get on Foundation aren't able to pull those kinds of numbers. Like it's it's just very very brutal. It's a brutal market, and a lot of the time you're just spending that money on gas. So it's like at this point, most people should be looking at layer two, or some alternative blockchains to mint their art. I mean, I still like minting on ETH, but I do think once bridges I think are a bit more user friendly, layer two is going to be something that everyone just does. Just by default. I was having a conversation with Rob Ness the other night,
mm,
and it's very much like the way that people view Polygon and Layer Two is it's met with reluctance, right? And it's weird because we're also met with a very very high level of um, just sort of disdain for the gas prices. Like people are like, "Oh man, fuck these gas prices." Okay, there's layer 2. There's no fees on there. Man, fuck layer 2. It's like, what do you
yeah.
want, man? you
It's
gotta
like
you gotta pick one, and you gotta deal with it. Like if you can stomach the gas fees, stay on layer one.
Yeah.
But if you can't, go to layer two, right? If you're complaining about the gas fees, go to layer two. That's really all it is. And I think once you get to a certain point where there's insane levels of innovation and great artists who are minting on Polygon layer two, right? Um, you're gonna see people collecting there, and then it's in no time at all. It's gonna have the same effect that Hic et Nunc had, because before Hic et Nunc, nobody was doing shit on Tezos. Like it
True.
was it was just I don't even know what you could do on Tezos, right?
Nothing.
But
I never heard of it before Hic et Nunc.
right, exactly. No, wait, you never heard of Hic et Nunc?
Like before, like no, I'm sorry, I never heard of Tezos
Oh
before.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Hic et Nunc put Tezos on the radar because um, just NFTs. That's what they do. Like that's where the money is. That's what the craze is about, right? And so Hic et Nunc capitalized on this opportunity to be the NFT platform on Tezos, and it fucking skyrocketed. um, and really that's kind of what we're seeing. I think the early stages of layer two. Though the thing that I think is surprising is like I said before, the reluctance to get onto layer two when layer two is an extension of layer one. Like everyone's already familiar with Ethereum with the layer one. So you would assume that that people would be comfortable enough to take it to layer two, but the bridge poses a bit of a problem. And again, this is something I had a discussion with Robness about, and the bridge fucking sucks, man. Like
I still
you,
don't
you
like.
it's just it's not nice to deal with. It's not easy, and um, it takes like 45 minutes
What the
for
fuck?
your funds to transfer from layer one to layer two, and it's like it's just it's not easy. It should be a very very seamless process. The more seamless it is, right,
Yeah.
the better it will be in terms of adoption, right? If you're making it difficult or just unappealing to use, then you're probably not going to have a lot of success in making um, a thriving ecosystem. So once the bridge, I think, is able to be resolved in that case, then we will start to see more people using layer two, and it becomes the de facto.
I like the thing that's been stopping me from layer two is I still don't understand how to bridge or where to even go with
Exactly.
that. And I'm just like,
Exactly.
oh my god, another thing to because it's like already like my like for example, like everybody says go mint on Solana, right? And my whole thing is like I just don't want to go through the whole process of setting up another wallet, right?
Yeah.
Getting
I get it.
getting the 12 seed phrase, worrying about that one being compromised on top of the other two that we have, right? Because if you mint on Hickonock, you have another wallet as well, right? And then just you have to get Solana, and then you have to get Ethereum, and then you have to get Tezos, and it's just like, oh my god.
It's exhausting. It is.
And it's like I'm also a little bit sad now that just like this whole foundation thing. I didn't know you had to settle. Like now I'm actually pissed, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's
and then
it's like
open
the last thing you want to see, right? It's like,
yeah.
fuck yeah, my auction settled, and then it's like, hey, you gotta pay 0.15 ETH to settle the auction. Like, what the fuck?
It's like what do you take the 15% for then? God damn.
Yeah, like take they should cover the cost of that. If you're taking 15%, what the fuck
It's
did you do for 15%?
that's
Just
actually
it's
and then
ridiculous, man.
yeah, it is. And then OpenSea, I don't know if you know this, but OpenSea automatically sort of hides Polygon NFTs now because of how easy it is that they got and how like they got used for spam. So where
Hmm.
it's like we had somebody in the Metakey crew asking like, "Yo, I got this drop. Is this real or fake?" And we're like, "Yeah, it's real. It's sent out by Decentraland. It's official. Just OpenSea thinks it's a scam." And we're like,
Oh,
"Wow." Right? And so it's like OpenSea is like we have layer 2, but our system classifies it as a scam. So we're just going to automatically hide your shit if you get gifted something and you're like, well, that's already telling people not to, because like if I go to my hidden tab on OpenSea, it's literally all layer 2 stuff. So it's like
Oh,
already they've already set the game up to where like anybody that looks at layer 2, like they'll look at it and they're like, "Oh, that's where I hide my stuff." And you're like, "Well, damn."
that's a good point. Yeah, it's not a great way to start.
It's like so much stuff to be fixed. Oh,
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna take some work. But
I
I
mean,
think eventually we'll get there.
and it's like and having like a custom contract like you, right, allows you to sort of avoid foundation's fucking bullshit. Like
Yeah,
like I'm actually, god damn it, now I'm actually mad about that. I'm like, I legit expected. I've been tweeting out, I've been chilling my stuff. I'm like, hey, please, you know, support we African boy, and then you're gonna I get oh my god, I legit don't even know if I'm gonna have enough money to settle any of my auctions if they start, let alone
yeah,
delist them. Like, wow.
exactly. It's too much. Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, um, OpenSea seems to be like
Yeah.
the king of NFTs.
It's that,
You know,
and then Hicket Nunk on the
he
like.
can.
I love Hicket Nunk. It's or object.bid. Just NFTs on the Tezos blockchain are
They're
pretty
pretty
fire.
neat. Yeah, yeah, they're pretty cool. I need to get back on there. I was making art on there for a little while, but um, this 30-piece collection is taking so much time.
Imagine.
Oh my god, dude, it's wild. Like all the time it takes to conceptualize each piece,
Yeah.
or just like experiment with the piece and sort of create its identity. Once I get the piece done, then writing the poetry and stuff like that. I mean, all of that just it takes a lot of time. It does. So I'm on number 10. No, I'm currently working on number 11 out of 30. So it's going.
When do you think? Well, to those listening, when they should expect it to go live on OpenSea, or is it already live?
No, it's not live yet. I was debating whether I should do a batch drop, like drop the first 10 and then the next 10 and then the final 10.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, I think I think having it all, like all 30, at one time, uh, would just be awesome. Just to see all the different artworks, representing, you know, so many different eras of, you know, my artistic journey with all the different techniques and styles and just evolutions, right? I think to have all of them at one time would be really really cool to see. So I'm personally shooting for um, all 30 to release sometime next year. I'm thinking it's going to be maybe like February or so. I'm going to need a couple months.
You're
You know,
not. Are you still working a full-time job? Please say
dude,
no.
I'm working two full-time jobs right
Jesus,
now.
what the fuck, dude? Why? Two?
Because yeah, dude. It's crazy. It's been hectic, very very hectic. Yeah, so I'm a caregiver full time, right? So I take care of the elderly,
Bro,
and yeah,
what the
and I recently took a full time position as community manager for Charge Particles, um, and originally what I was going to do was leave my job, as a caregiver for the community manager role, so I can be full time NFTs.
Mm.
Um, but so I work for my mother in law. So uh, and just it's very hard right now to get caregivers. With
Imagine.
the pandemic and stuff like that. So uh, she needs me to stay. So at the moment, I'm working two full time jobs and running AGA. So
Dude,
hell,
I mean, shit. I, that's, I mean, big respect, sir. First of all, big
thank
respect.
you.
You have to deal with a shit that a lot of people are not willing to deal with. And so it's like, damn.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I have a friend of mine in the UK that works in an or used to work in an elderly home, and I would he would tell me like, man, it's sometimes it can get pretty exhausting, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Oof.
It is very exhausting. Like this is probably the hardest job I've ever had. And I mean, I haven't had that many jobs. This is actually my second job. My first job was a waiter, and I thought being a waiter was very hard. But I actually enjoyed it, right, for the social aspects. And as a caregiver, you become physically and mentally drained. And it's really, I think, what so I've been doing this for about 3 years. So I think this is honestly what pushed me to express myself with art, is because, like, at the end of the day, um I there's just so much exhaustion, and just very very few outlets to just truly let go, and to channel energy through. So art was really just you know something incredible for me, because before it was just me trying to deal with things by burying them, and just not expressing myself whatsoever. um and it really just causes a lot of anguish. And through art I was able to slowly release all of that tension, and just start to kind of explore, I think, things that I just didn't think I had the time for, or things that I at the moment didn't think were important enough. Like uh, spirituality was one of those things that I really discovered through art. I've never really been a religious person, um, nor a spiritual one at that. um, but it was really, I think, this this intimate experience with art that I started to really just, you know, feel connected to something bigger than myself. Um, much like uh, just like the concepts of ego death, and um, sort of like oneness, right? It, like, all of that starts to, I think, make sense when I'm expressing myself through art.
I mean, all I have to say is goddamn, sir. Shit. Like, yeah, with that level of work, you need some escape. Otherwise,
Right?
like,
I know, man.
like there is a reason why, like, caretakers don't, like, you don't find a caretaker that works for like 20 years. Well, sometimes you do, but it's like it's not a
It's rare.
position.
It's rare.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
like the stuff you deal with is not fun. Is not fun, and it's stuff like said before. It's like most people are not willing to deal with. That's why you as a caretaker, you would deal with it, and it just, oof. But damn, I didn't know that, sir. God damn, what the you're like, man's got, like, you're building so much, sir.
Thank you,
uh,
man. I mean,
uh,
it's I like what I do. As part of NFTs, and with crypto and everything, it's really helped me. I think getting to know all of you, and um, just kind of participating in the ecosystem, right, and building with it, and just contributing, right. All of that has helped me so much, and the good thing out of that is that I can help people through what I do, right. So um, AGA, and you know helping people with advice, and sales, as a collector, I mean, and just doing whatever I can to help others. All of that really helps me too. So it's like a really nice feedback loop. Um, the more I do to help, uh, it seems to do more for me as well. So it just kind of keeps me going.
like, I mean, that's great to hear, and it's like, see, knowing you for a year, man, you're absolutely, you're putting your, is it the saying, what is it, putting your money where your mouth is? I don't
Right.
know
Yeah.
that is, I don't know, it's that saying where it's like the person is doing what they are talking about. um
Yeah. Yeah.
I just
I
blanked
get
out on,
that.
like, the most famous American saying, I think, in all of movies, like, shit.
I know. I got you. I got you.
Well, Dan, thank you for coming to this artist talk. This was fucking great, man. I I have like another. Now I look at your work a little bit differently, and I'm so excited for what's to come and seeing the 10 pictures on Sundance and all these works. I'm super excited for when you actually drop your collection. Like legitimately,
Oh,
it's gonna be
thank
fucking
you.
wild.
Thank you so much, man.
To those listening, go follow Dan on Twitter. The links are below. I've put below your Twitter,
Okay.
your OpenSea, your Rarible,
Hmm.
Skies, OpenSea, and Skies' Twitter as well. And
Cool.
if there is any other link that you want me to put, just send it to me in DMs, and I'll put it there.
Sure.
Um,
Okay.
but yeah, again, thank you for coming. Everybody, go follow him and go buy his art. It's fucking great. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.